When I hear the word single mothers, what comes to my mind at first is irritation, anger. It's, I don't know, for lack of a better word, it's this feeling I get that just sort of upsets me. Not to say they're entirely bad people, but you know how it is, especially in this part of the world when we talk about single moms. It's either, oh, they got married out of wedlock, the lady's promiscuous, she can't keep her legs low, blah, blah, blah. A whole lot of things are being said about them. And well, for the sake of this video, I'm not going to start waste my time start talking about them. Of course, there are good ones, there are bad ones, there are terrible ones, just like everybody there. Now, this is not a video where I start to say I want to defend or project anything. I'm just going to leave it at that. For this video, we're talking about mistakes that single mothers make and how it affects their sons. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Sorry, I've been away for... Yeah, I forgot. Far too long. I can't remember, but it seems too long. It feels like eons to me. Well, life happened, but I'm back here. So if you're tuning in, I'm going to start putting out content again. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you're a single mom or you know a single mom, please share this video to them. They already did this video. So number one reason I feel that single mothers do that I see as mistakes that they make with their son is the first is that they coddle them too much. Coddling in the sense that whatever the son does somehow is right. There's nothing that child or that boy will want to do that it will look like, oh, they did something wrong. That's why you hear people say most of the time that, oh, single mothers with their sons, that their sons are like all and all, they do no wrong. And that is a really wrong approach to take. But what that happens is that you're raising an adult who will go out there into the world and will be solely focused on his ego, nothing more, nothing less. Any other thing anybody is saying, they don't care about it because of that coddling nature, because their mom is always there to bail them out. Their mom is always there to protect them. But these are men. Sometimes they need to go out, they need to make those mistakes. There are some lessons that you can't learn in school. There are some lessons that people are never going to teach you. Life just teaches you. The second mistake I know they make for a fact, because I've seen it happen growing up, the compound we live, there's this single mom. I don't want to say the name so they don't get to see this video, but there's this single mom. Whenever we grew up, anything that we do, we played football like in front of the compound. So whenever something goes wrong, it's always us, not her child. Whenever they talk about bad boys, it's always us, not her child. And over time, I keep hearing her talking about, oh, men are this, men are that in front of the boy, and somehow he kind of accepts that as his reality, as a mindset, which brings us to number two, which is, well, they insult men in front of their kids, whether male or female. But now we're focusing on the guys. Now, when a child is growing up as a man and as a boy rather, and he hears his mom all the time talk about how men are scum, how men are nothing, or they hold you ain't shit, you ain't nothing, somehow they think they are doing, if they are just ranting, but it goes beyond that because it could actually affect that child's identity. They have this sudden identity crisis where they start feeling, oh, for the fact that I'm a man, I'm up to no good. For the fact that I'm a man, I'm not a good person. It means any woman out there who sees me a particular way, right? They just feel that way, and some of them might end up losing their identities. I mean, that's why we have the Bobriskis and some of them. I'm not saying that's how they started, but it could be. It could, because on the serious note, these kids don't know themselves anymore. They have this low self-esteem, and it just bothers them because they are men. Nothing more, nothing less. So even if you want to do your ranting, let it be with your fellow clique, let it be you and someone, not where that child is, because at the end of the day, the child has done nothing to you. You and the father, whether you decided consciously or unconsciously to bring that child into the world, so there's no point you're trying to mess up the child's psyche. Number three, substitute father. This one, I've seen it too many times. As around last year, I know someone who, this lady almost landed in the hospital because, well, the substitute father, quote unquote, broke up, called off the relationship, and she almost went crazy. You have your child, there's no, I get, yeah, there's this need for a male figure, but it should not be the main thing, because sometimes you meet these guys and in 1 week, you want them to know your son, you want them to take your son out, you want them to do this for your son, like you expect them to play the father role, and some guys really, they are not ready for that. It could be that, yes, they are responsible men, not saying guys who are not ready are irresponsible. They could be responsible men, but they are not just ready. Give that relationship time, because what happens is that if that father, in the case of the person I heard about, the father breaks up, you heal from the heartbreak, you meet another man, the cycle just keeps going on. Instead of you worrying about, oh, how you're not going to get your heart broken and how you're going to feel, you're going to find real love, why not think about it a different way? How does it affect your son? Because that child is a part of your life, whether you like it or not. And I get the whole, he has to be part of my child's life. That's not a problem, but don't rush this thing. It makes you look desperate. And some of these guys will actually take advantage of that. They tell you what they know you want to hear. They tell you, oh, I love kids. They come, they hang out with your son. They buy him things. His birthday, take him out. They start making you feel like if I'm just because, well, they just want to sleep with a woman. Nothing more, nothing less. So take your time, get to know the guy, not just for yourself, but for your son. It's like there are two persons now you're trying to protect. It's not just about you anymore. So that is really not a good look. Substitute fathers. Technique number 4, ruining his life. Or rather, running his life. I think that's more better word to say, running his life. Some single mothers, if most that I've come across, I see them try, or I see them control their son's life, whether directly or indirectly. Some of them, they are doing it from a place of love, but if you look at the bigger picture there, it doesn't really help the child at the end of the day. You want to dictate when they eat, when they sleep. In their formative years, yeah, that's okay, understandable. When they are adults, you want to decide who they date, when they sleep with their wives. Like this is annoying as, yeah, fill in the blank. This is super annoying, and it just gets me because you made a mistake doesn't mean your child is going to make that same mistake. Yeah, I get the whole point. You're trying to protect him, you're trying to give him a better life, but in so doing, make sure that in you protecting them, you don't end up making them withdraw from you. You don't end up making them resent you. That's why we have this quote unquote some mama's boys that's because of, well, single motherhood and the way the woman just wants to run the child's life, because mom literally does everything. Oh, your wife or girlfriend is like, oh, you need to buy me this, I need to talk to my mom. Oh, you need to do this, I have to talk to my mom. Yeah, it's good, but it gets to a point where it becomes extra and it becomes a problem. Then the lady in question can't even decipher if she's dating the man, or dating the man and the mom, or even dating the mom at the end of the day. Well, another one I can think of is projecting their anger. This one, I think if I had a scale to measure the frequency at which this happens, it happens a lot, a whole lot. All over Nigeria, I've seen it. How does it start? Let's say you tell the child, oh, go help me get this, or do this, do this, do this, do that in the house. And somehow they don't do it at all. And it's them being children. Children would definitely do that. Most of them, the few of them listen, but lots don't listen. They just want to have fun and play. And while scolding the son, you hear things like, oh, that's your no good father. That's how your father is. You are stupid as your father. You are as insane as your father. You are correcting. At the end of the day, you think you're correcting the behavior, but what you're doing, you're already creating that gap between son and father. It doesn't even matter if his father is irresponsible or not. I don't want to even go into that, but there's a gap you're creating because the child starts thinking, seeing themselves as a failure, seeing themselves as an extension of the bad attributes of their dad. So what happens then when you start making these comparisons is that they go out into the society, they project that same thing to other people. That's literally what just happens, and the cycle just goes on and on and on and on and on and like that. So please, while you're scolding your children, scold them for what they did wrong. No need bringing the dad into it. No need telling them they are stupid as their father. They are. Let's raise people that actually can differentiate. People that we are talking about being more family oriented. Let's raise boys. Let's raise men that will be like that. Not men that will, just detach from reality. Number 6. One particular thing I've seen that single mother do is talk down on the father in front of the child. I know this is similar with the previous point I made, but this is what I'm trying to say. You are constantly, I know married people, even some married people do this, but we're talking about single moms now. Some will constantly insult the dad in front of the child. Let's say the child knows mom and dad, and some moms would constantly insult the man in front of the child. To you, you're letting the child know, oh, the man hurt you. You're letting the child know, oh, this happened. But that is not good. I don't know how many times people will say that. That is not good. Whether the man is irresponsible, whether the man is responsible, that is you and the man's business. I mean, besides, when you both asked yourself out and decided to, have fun in the bed, the child was not there. Something happened that brought the child. So while you're feeling bad about what the man did to you, keep it between you. See a therapist, for goodness sake. You don't have to say that in front of the child, because all you're doing is basically just making it, some of children hate their father, some children have a misconception about their dad, some children, some boys start thinking, oh, their dad is the worst. They grow up with this feeling of, oh, I don't want to be like my father, not even knowing the real picture. Sometimes what the woman is saying, whether right or wrong, is just not appropriate. You want someone who's a child who's open-minded, who actually sees things from their own perspective. You don't have to start conditioning or influencing them to think the way you do or feel the way you do. Whatever happened between you and the dad is what happened. Leave it at that and then raise your child. Anyway, I've come to the end of my video, guys. If you got to this point, please like, share, comment, subscribe, and yeah, never just do the light, and I'll see you in another video.